How to make a web form to IRCC. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to properly prepare a web form if you're inside or outside Canada. You may need to make a web form to contact IRCC if you've changed addresses, changed employer, had a new family member, or requesting urgent processing for a permanent resident travel document. There are many other reasons that you may need to contact IRCC and make a web form. In today's video, we're going to go over how to properly prepare a web form. My name is Cédric Marin. I'm an immigration lawyer at Holt Immigration Law. All right, so the first thing to know is that there are two different web forms. There is one for inside Canada and there's one for outside Canada if you've already submitted your application. This means that if you submit an outside Canada application, the embassy or the consulate, the High Commission of Canada, will receive your web form directly. If you're inside Canada, you will make your web form and it will go through a triage system. Somebody's going to read your web form and redirect it internally to IRCC inside Canada, depending on where your application is, whether it's in Edmonton or Ottawa. The idea is to be able to action your web form as quickly as possible and providing it to the most appropriate person. All right, so how do we properly prepare a web form? So if you're inside Canada, you will complete a web form like this. There is a link in the description. You're going to see here, please carefully read these instructions as they are always changing, but generally speaking, they will expect you to provide all your information inside of the web form and to provide proof of this information if required. Keep in mind that you are able to actually submit supporting documents to the web form at the very end. All right, so here at the inquiry, you're going to select what is your application for. You're going to enter here your basic information. And it's very important, although there isn't a star, I strongly recommend that if you know your UCI to indicate your UCI. It's most likely on your acknowledgement of receipt or on your other documents. Your application number as well, very, very important. If you don't know your UCI and don't have your application number, there's a high risk that it's going to get returned to you because they're not able to find your application. This is very important. All right, here about the inquiry, take a note here that there's going to be, it's asked you to please limit the text to 1,500 characters. And this is only what they allow you to include here, right? So keep in mind that if you want to provide more information or more details, you can always attach a letter to this actual web form and include supporting documents to the letter. I think generally speaking, please try to respect this limit for IRCC, but if you're not able to properly explain why you're contacting them and not properly able to provide all the information, consider attaching a letter with supporting documents. There's no form right now to update and provide supporting documents. That's only going to come at the very end when you click I agree and you click next. I haven't completed this, so it's going to give me an error. Many fields are required, but keep in mind that the supporting documents has to be under 3.5 megabytes and they can be attached. They say here that it's going to take 5 business days for it to be updated. In practice right now in October 2022, it's currently taking about 45 to 60 days to process a web form. In some cases, they're not going to provide a fulsome reply. You're going to ask about, updating an address, and they're going to provide you with information that's not necessarily relevant. So keep in mind that it can take anywhere from 45 to 60 days, and if they don't properly address your concern, you could have to remake another web form. If you are outside Canada, you're going to look for this page here. Again, link in the description below. If you take a look here at the very bottom, it's going to ask you, what would you like to do? Here, we're going to click on Tell Us More. And if you're not asking about the sponsoring your parents, you're going to click No. If you've already submitted an application, you're going to click Yes. And if it's being processed outside Canada, you're going to click Yes. Unfortunately, you can't see it on your screen, but here you can actually pick the visa office. So in this case, we're going to pick Mexico City and go straight to the web form. The web form looks a little bit different. Again, keep in mind that there are various requirements here that they're asking you to provide. Also, do keep in mind that to properly fill out this information, again, they're going to be asking you what type of application you're making, and this form looks quite similar. But again, very important, client ID and the application number. Again, you're limited to 1,500 words, but you're able to attach letters and supporting documents once we complete the information. So these are the two different web forms. The processing times for web forms outside Canada vary per country. Some countries, they're very quick. Next business day or within a week, you receive a reply. And some other visa processing offices take 2 months to get back to web form. So it really depends on the specific office, but do know that once the web form is submitted, it's going to be processed usually on a first come, first served basis, and it can take anywhere from a day to 2 months before you receive a reply. There we have it, short video about how to make a web form for inside and outside Canada.